Car beats out of the yellow. We have about 2 hours and 45 minutes of fuel. Here we go. Ready to have some fun? Hell yeah.
Alright, so as you can tell by the title of the video probably, I am flying helicopters now. This is going to be my fourth flight. I have about 3 hours prior to this, and I'm starting with a new instructor. So this flight is more of a get to know you kind of flight and him figuring out kind of where my skills are. I'll preface it by saying that my hovering is already pretty decent. By no means is it great, but for where I'm at and how many hours I have, it's pretty good. If y'all want to see more content like this, I'm going to be documenting this entire experience. All of the training that I do from here on out will be documented, so expect a lot of videos like this. And if you want to follow along, if you're interested in flying helicopters, I know watching videos helped me out whenever I first started, so yeah, hit that subscribe button and I'll leave y'all to it.
So yeah, manipulate the controls a little bit, relax, try to maintain, try to find a balance between your power setting, your cyclic, to maintain 1,000 feet and 80 knots. And like I said,
do we have a tailwind right now?
Oh, we do.
Okay.
A little bit. Well, it's variable. The winds are variable right now. But yeah, approximately. It's kind of been coming out of the north all day. So anytime you're controlling this thing, and this is something I kind of had to, you have to work with everybody on it, but even Brett, before we flew, Kyle kind of told me he had a habit of guerrilla controlling it. Everything in this is very small pressures.
Yep.
It takes very little input to get this thing to do what you want it to do. People get so overwhelmed with these because they're such amazing, powerful machines, and you think, oh my God, I'm flying. But people get so caught up in that they think like, I've got to control this thing, and you really don't. Try to get your 1,000. Try to get your 80 knots.
All right.
And as we're kind of coming up on this marshland that's out there, I'm going to have you go ahead and just kind of initiate a gentle turn to the left. So just use your cyclic.
All right.
Use your cyclic and kind of follow, like I said, stay over these fields more so than that stuff. So go ahead and start your turn. There you go. Nice gentle turn. There you go. Good job. Maintain your altitude and your airspeed. I want you to try to get back to 80 knots, but you held 1,000 feet, 70 knots all through the turn, so that's good. Just give it a little bit. So going back to what I was saying, not over controlling, making small inputs. Whenever you have to put something in, it's kind of a counterbalance. If you see something changing, like let's say you want to be at 1,000 feet, you don't want to try so hard to be perfect that if it goes just above, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Or just below. You don't want to try that hard to be perfect. But if you see it trending, if you see it go above 1,000 and you see it keep on small, slightly going, then you need to make an input. And just, again, small inputs and let it react. Do something to the aircraft and let it talk to you. Good job maintaining. You got 80 knots. You're right at 1,000 feet. Keeping that level attitude. Good job. All right, so while we're headed in this direction, we'll go out here a little ways and then turn around and kind of work our way back. But while we're headed out in this direction, go ahead, try to decelerate a little bit. Try to get down to about 65 knots, but maintain 1,000 feet. Good job. There you go. out to my left, you see that little car dealership looking thing, or that big
tractor
big
dealership.
Yeah. Go ahead, just initiate a nice gentle left turn. Let's kind of go in that direction. Caution lights out, gauge is green, car beats out of the yellow. 2 hours, just under 2.5 hours. Okay. You're at about 1,000 feet, 80 knots, a little bit. You're just a little high on the altitude, but that again, I mean, you're pretty you're pretty dead to nuts. All right. Kind of level out at 1,000 feet. All right, go ahead and initiate a nice gentle turn to the right. Oh yeah, this is nice area. If we, I think it is very morbid. This is a nice area if we had engine failure. You got all these little roads down there.
Yeah.
Not that you ever want that to happen.
No, don't want that to happen.
All right, I've already experienced one.
A real one?
Yeah, in my private, the day before my private check ride. Talk about testing your, like, whether or not you'll come back and do it some more.
Yeah.
I was like, my check ride's the next day. All right, go ahead and turn us to the right, back in that direction. Almost, I mean, don't make a hard banking turn, but we kind of want to head 90 degrees that way. We're actually going to go find that tractor dealership again, right over there. We're going to do turn around a point. All right. So 1,500 feet. Let's try to get back to 80 knots, and don't go directly over it.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, kind of go directly over this little spot down here, this little pipeline spot below us. I don't know if you can see that with
I can see it.
All right. So about the distance that we are from that. I want to see how, and actually, well, I was going to do this in reverse first, but we'll do it this way. I wanted to do it with it on your side first. Actually, use that pool, that little blue pool down there. So keep about this same distance and make a turn, a nice, gentle circle. Watch see your altitude and your airspeed. It's okay. As I said, just small movements. Go ahead, try to bring us back down. Try to maintain 1,500 feet, about 80 knots, and about the same distance. So again, don't just crank it over. Kind of turn a little bit, and let the turn, see how the turn affects, see how far away you are, and then just give it a little more as you need it. Try to maintain that. It's more of that, just kind of make an input, let it see what happens, kind of turn a little bit, see how that turn affects you. How's the wind? We know we got variable wind, so how's that affecting? Is it pushing you into your spot? Is it pushing you away from your spot?
It feels like it just started to push me into it a little bit.
Oh yeah, it'll do that to you. So yeah, matter of fact, now that it's on your right, where those two oil tanks are, we're going to make a pretty wide turn around that dealership.
You want to do a right?
Yeah, we're going to make a right turn. So I want you to be over those two oil tanks. And I want you to make a large, wide circle around that tractor dealership. And I want you to keep it about that far away and try your best to maintain that 1,500 and that 80 knots. Caution lights out, gauges in green, car beats out of the yellow. A little over 2 hours of fuel. Looking smooth, man. You're doing a really good job. And like I said, even I think without even, I don't know how much you're thinking about it, but you're doing a decent job of maintaining close to what you're going for. Keeping you're keeping a decent and consistent power pulled in, and you're managing it well.
The first couple flights, it was hard monitoring the gauges because you're not familiar with where they are.
Oh yeah. Well,
so like after like the third flight, I kind of figured it out, you know, and I know where, it doesn't take me as long to scan.
Yeah.
So I can just glance as fast as I need.
Well, what makes it even better is as you get into other usually through your private training, they're probably going to keep you pretty much in the same helicopter most of the time. I'm sure at some point you'll fly one or two others, but for the most part, whether it's this one or something else, we'll probably pick one and stick with it.
Okay.
Just because that helps a private student really develop a consistent feel. But you'll find, I mean, you jump into other helicopters that we have, they've got all this shit flipped around. So they've got your manifold pressure, your RPMs over there and up there, and, you know, they're like, let's go do an auto, and you've got to find all your stuff. So. Good job, man. Good job. All right. I take flight controls.
You have controls?
I have controls. Just shake it off a little bit. I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just relax, you know, relax your hands a little bit, kind of whatever you feel like you need to do if you want to unrattle your legs or any of that. Pretty easy to get so caught up in what you're doing that you
start clenching. And
oh, yeah, definitely. I am going to head us back to the airspace. And I'm going to give them back to you in just a second. I'm going to let you bring us in. Like I said, I'll just give you a second to kind of relax for a minute.
Okay.
So how's that feel overall?
Feels pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I mean, you definitely, you have a natural knack for it, man. That's, you know, you were overall very smooth. Measure 10 degrees in here.
Yeah.
Just like with a shallow approach is 5, a steep approach is 15. You kind of have to find a reference point. And I'm sure you and Kyle probably talked about this and probably looked at it already.
Yeah.
I don't know what you have lined up as a sight picture, but here in just a second, I'm just getting us down to 500 feet.
Yeah.
When we intercept this approach angle, I'm going to show you. So right about there, that's my normal approach angle. Right there at the bottom of the compass for me.
Okay.
So whatever that is for you, I want you to fly this.
Okay.
And use your collective and just lower it or raise it as much as you need to kind of tractor beam your way down to that spot.
Okay.
You know, don't be afraid to move it if you need to. If you feel like you're sinking, raise collective a little bit. If you feel like you're coming up on it, kind of lower. So right there, we're getting a little bit high.
A little high, okay.
I'm gonna lower it just a little bit. And I want to keep my forward airspeed. And again, you don't want to dump collective. Okay. You just want to use enough to keep yourself on that path. You basically want to draw a path in your mind and try to stay on it like a slide. Okay. The whole way down. I was gonna say a tractor beam like Star Trek, but I'm not sure if you're a Star Trek guy. I'm really not, but most people know what the tractor beam is. So now we're gonna start slowing down. Right. Again, you're on it, I'm just helping. Yep. We're gonna pull collective in and right there at our spot. Oh, and you still, I have flight controls?
You have flight controls?
I have flight controls. So I'm gonna taxi us right over here.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the compass rose and we're just gonna do a little bit of, we're gonna have a little fun. I mean, we're gonna do some work, but we're gonna have
see where we left off.
Yeah. Like I said, don't stress yourself out about it too much. Don't, you know. Yeah. I will tell you, and we'll talk about this more when we debrief, but you're talking to a guy, not only was I trying to be the best in my class, but I demanded perfection out of myself. So every little thing that I did from day one, like never having flown a helicopter, I demanded that I was perfect. Yep. I demanded that out of myself. That's a great quality to have. The problem is that can end up working against you. You try so hard to be perfect that it ends up becoming detrimental. Because you get so in your head that you don't just let things flow naturally. Yep. So just keep that in mind. All right? All right. See. I'm trying to look and see.
Where is the windsock out here?
Right. Well, there's two of them. There's one at that end, so it looks like it's over here now. Katie, Tower, slick 4, wind check.
Slick 4, wind 250 at, well, wind's calm.
Copy that, calm wind, slick 4. All right, well,
It wasn't
yeah,
calm.
like she said, it's calm wind, but she had it out of 250. You can see the wind socks still coming from out of this direction. So just to make it a little bit, simpler, obviously, we'll get more advanced later on, but we're going to point in the direction of the wind so that it gives you a headwind. Now, what I like to do is I'm going to pick out something, okay? You do not want to, I mean, not that you can't, but especially until you get good at it,
You don't want to look down.
Yeah, you want to try and avoid looking in front of the aircraft. Looking out on the horizon, finding a point, picking it out is going to help you keep your bearing that much better. So I'm going to use that building right there. There's that brown standalone building. I mean, obviously, there's a couple over here too, but I'm looking at that brown standalone. The better you get on your pedals, the more smooth and in control you will be of each maneuver. So the pedals are the foundation for everything. So when you take over the cyclic and you start feeling like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, try to center yourself. Come back to those pedals. All right? So go ahead and jump on the pedals.
Okay, I'm on pedals.
All right, you have them. All right, now when you're ready, you take cyclic, just tell me. And I remember, it's okay if we move. It's okay, just make small inputs. Like I said, use those pedals to keep us from doing this. And if we go up and down, that's me. Like, you don't worry about up and down. But just, I mean, you're doing it, dude. You're doing it. You are literally doing it. So try to keep us pointed back at that building and then just make small inputs. And again, if you go side to side, it's okay. Just make a small input and let it react. Like, make a small correction and let the aircraft react. Because you're doing actually really, really good. There you go. Like I said, use those pedals to try to keep us lined up, and then just small. Look at you, dude. You're fucking doing it. That's awesome. That is awesome. Now try to use that cyclic just to keep us straight with your pedals, and at the same time try to bring us over this way just a little bit, just to the left. Perfect. You are doing that. I am not doing that. The only thing I'm holding is the collective. That is all you. That is all you. Like I said, I'm the one. I'm ballooning up. But that's my fault. That is awesome. Okay. All right. I have flight controls.
You have flight controls?
Right. I have flight controls. How are you feeling about that?
Feeling good.
Feeling good? All right. I'm going to bring us back over here. I'm going to center us up on this compass rose. All right. Now, do you want to just keep practicing that? We've only got a few minutes left before we've got to go back, or do you want to try the collective?
Yeah, I'd like to do all three. See if I can get back to where I was 2 weeks ago. Okay. All right. We'll go just one at a time. Take the pedals first. Got pedals. All right. Cyclic when you're ready. Got cyclic. All right. Now you have cyclic and pedal. Go ahead and take collective whenever you want it. I have collective. All right. You have got it, man. And don't let that freak you out. Like I said, just use those pedals to keep you pointed in the right direction. Feel yourself sink a little bit. Just give yourself a little bit of collective and let it react. Yep. There's the biggest thing is like to get anxious and be like, oh my God, I've got to correct. Recognize it, correct it, and just breathe. Breathe through it. All right. There you go. I mean, you're doing good. And I am not doing anything. You've got it. There you go. See if you can hold it. Pedals to kind of center us on our object. Just kind of balancing those other two. All right. You're doing good, man. I said I don't even care that you get off and stuff like that, because you have to get off and mess up in order to correct. Yeah. And get better and get stronger at it. But I am literally not making any corrections on you at all. So you're doing awesome. Ooh. You're doing amazing. Freaking amazing. And again, if I was being critical, I would
I would want you to hover a little higher. Okay. But I mean, again, I'm not even telling you to do that at this moment because again, you're new. The only reason I say that is your normal hover height is going to be 3 to 5 feet, or max 10 feet. You just don't want to get too close to the ground if you do this, because then you can catch a skid and roll. But I mean, at no point have you been in danger of that.
Can I try and circle it to the center of the compass?
Absolutely. Heck yeah. It's all about taking it to the next step. So if you're feeling froggy, very good, man. Very, very good. I don't know if you are just naturally amazing or if Kyle was just an amazing instructor and worked well with you at first.
I kind of did that. My first day was terrible. Yeah. But it was second day I did that. Yeah. Right there, I did that twice, and he was like, what the fuck?
Well, shit, man. Like I said, we're running out of time, but do you want to try and do a sit down?
I'll try it.
Okay. All right. First thing,
get it nice.
I was gonna say, yeah. First thing first, just stabilize it a little bit. Like I said, just try to think of your pedals.
All right. Oh. Start using the pedals.
That's right, and you're still on flight controls. I'm just kind of helping you out a little bit.
I'm gonna relax a little bit here.
Hey, you're good. And it's funny because you'll sit there and you'll hover, and again, I'm making some corrections, but you have flight controls.
I have flight controls.
You'll sit there and you'll hover like this, and then the instant that you think about transitioning to a set down, it's like, oh!
Yeah.
It seems like it's so much more, and it's not. You're really kind of doing the same thing. All right. So just gently, smoothly, using the pedals, keep us pointed in that direction, and start to lower the collective. Okay? Like I said, you have it, but I'm on it with you. Okay? So just lower, lower, lower. Again, smooth. And don't be afraid to just commit to it and keep coming down. There you go. Right, first set down.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I do a takeoff and get light on the skids, feel the torque of it?
Yep. You're going to feel the...
It'll want to do this, and then it might want to slide a different direction. You got to...
You're increasing torque in the blades, so your nose is going to want to... I'm sorry about it. You still have flight controls.
I have flight controls.
The nose is going to want to do this, but then translating tendency is going to make you want to go this way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry. I wasn't taking it from you. I was just trying to find that. Yeah. There we go. So it's coordinated movement in terms of raising collective to come up, giving a little left pedal to keep it from doing that, and also slight left cyclic to keep it from doing that. So coordinated between all three. So
I'll get light enough on the skids so that you start to see that movement, and you leave it there.
Yep.
And then you correct everything. You get a little bit lighter on the skids. If it moves again, you do it.
Basically, and that's, so what I would say is go ahead and grab collective.
Yep.
So just pull a little bit and let it react. And then pull a little bit and let it react. Pull and keep inching your way up on that collective, a little bit at a time, until you start to feel, like you said, light in your seat, and you'll start to feel the aircraft react. Now we're starting to get
close.
Our hover power. There we go. So now, left on cyclic and left pedal. There you go. That was smooth. All right, you have flight controls.
I have flight controls.
All right, actually, I am going to take them. I'm going to go ahead and take us back.
All right, you have flight controls?
I have flight controls.